folks, welcome back to the channel. Third time in a day, I know, right? So much to talk about right now. So I think something that's really important, especially for the community to understand. So I think there's, from what I can tell from a lot of the comments, from a lot of what I'm seeing around, is this kind of war between community and validator, and sort of seeing the blockchain being held hostage. And you know, if you feel like that, speak up. Let us know in the comments section. Let us know how you're feeling, and we can kind of gauge where to go and snoop, where to look into, and see what's really going on. So just before I went away from my back surgery, Allnodes had made an announcement, and that announcement was pretty heartbreaking for quite a lot of new validators that were relying on Allnodes for node servicing. And this is very common, you know, of a service to be provided. You got people like PFC nodes. I mean, you can just Google node infrastructure rental and you can find many companies to go with, and there are cheaper companies out there, and I've no doubt people are either making that jump or trying to make the jump that I'm going to make, which is getting...
What if he makes it?
No one's ever made the first jump.
I know. But what if he does?
all of the machinery in my own house, in my own presence, and running it from my home, and ensuring that it's as safe as it is with Allnodes, because that's always the biggest issue I find. It's okay for people to say, well, you know, you should be renting and hosting it yourself, not renting. But what a lot of people don't understand is you need to have the correct understanding to be able to actually host something. It's no good you giving all of the machinery or getting all the machinery and having no idea what you're doing. It's a huge security risk on its own. So as it stands, before this increase, and this increase happens on the 1st of April, before this increase, the basic plan was $480 a month. That plan is now, so if your node is over 2%, you're going to be paying $2,400 a month for your node infrastructure. It's that simple. Just before we go any further, if anybody else misses the dashboard of all of the statistics, let me know. I would love to see that come back. I'm surprised that the station team haven't got that back up yet. Anyway, back to more important things. So like I was saying, if your voting power is below 1%, you're going to be looking to pay $1,100 a month. So it does kind of work in favor, but at the same time, it kind of dunks on the small validator, new validator trying to make a change. And I've always spoken about this war of attrition. And if you Google war of attrition, there's a lovely screen edit coming up now with a definition of it. As you can see, it's pretty much down to who's got the most money, who's got the most equipment, who can do it for the longest, and more or less outwin their opponents by washing them out. And it's very specific ways of doing this. And what we're seeing in the community is kind of this idea that it is being held hostage, and all of the old validators don't want to see change. And that could be the case because of a simple fact. They really are raking it in. A lot of these nodes that have got 5-6% upwards, they are raking it in. So as you know, we rent from Allnodes, so we're affected by this upping of the infrastructure cost, $2,400 per month. The node, give or take, after the actual running costs of that little situation there, we get $2,800 to $3,000, give or take, depending if the node goes up or down. So obviously, if once we've minused out that $2,400, we're left with around $400 to spare. Now, if I'm to buy all the machinery and get all the correct things so we can get rid of this running cost, so we can actually do stuff properly again, I'm gonna need to just not burn for the time being.
No, God!
And just strictly focus on getting the infrastructure in my own home and getting us set up.
No! No!
Even though I've been away for some time, it goes to show how strong this community has held. And you've held each other together. I can see it in all of the comments that I've gone back and I've looked through. You have held each other together in a really bad time where it's kind of uncertain as to what is going on with everything, not just Lunar Classic, but the whole world. You know, it's a very, very peculiar time, but it seems crypto is going to hold strong. But this video is just specifically letting this community know that we're not going to be able to burn for a while. We need to focus on the infrastructure and getting us to a point where we can burn freely again like we was before, and it's that simple. I couldn't really put it any more simple. The reason why Allnodes have done this can come down to a lot of things, and it's definitely, like they stated in their tweets, it's to bring down that voting power, which is a combined amount. But it's silly because they don't vote with that voting power. So, you know, this kind of issue is with their actual voting power. That's the way I see it. Other people may see it differently, but this could be a way to shake out all of the biscuit nodes, all of the kind of ones that crumble very easily. It's not good. The reason why I say this is because LUNC was abandoned. It was, you know, as much as people want to sit and glitter the situation up, back in May last year, it was abandoned. People were brokenhearted, and it was a really bad time. They created a new coin and they didn't care what happened to LUNC. It was people like myself come in, we picked up the pieces, we helped push it on, we created an image alongside so many other people that jumped on board. And we're now at a point where we've got all of these different people involved. You see all of these different articles popping up about LUNC, but not good articles, whereas you see all of these really positive articles about SHIB. I think recently, with everything that's gone on with SHIB, BitBoy and everything else, that their community is showing that realistically they are the SHIB guard, and it's down to them to shut down this kind of like propaganda that gets put out against them and stuff like that. But you know, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I'm just sort of looking at the sentimental part of it, kind of the way we look at penguins huddling in a big circle in Antarctica to stay warm. It's kind of like an analogy. So with all of this stuff with Allnodes, it's just simply, it is what it is, and there's not much, you know, we can do about it. We just have to play ball and put the money aside to get the machinery ready and get the node set up correctly, like I said, from my own home. Folks, nice video coming tomorrow morning, going over everything that's going on with Bitcoin, where we think we're heading, looking at the statistics, looking at the holders, looking at all the different things across the board, and really holding our hands, you know, crossing our fingers and hoping that this bull run is on the horizon, the thing that we're all waiting for. And I always think to myself, where are all of the people from the last bull run? Well, they made enough money, so they just don't need to be here anymore. That's likely why you don't hear about them. You only sort of hear about these day traders and things like that. Folks, that's all I've got for you for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some useful information, and I hope this gets you up to date with the validating node. I know this is not a video for everyone. It's simply for our community and those who have chosen to delegate the Lunar Classic with us. The node's fine, the node's safe, all of these different conspiracy theories.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now.
The node's always topped up. I'm an adult just like everybody else. It's funny to see how people have reacted in these situations. Stay safe, beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, and I will catch you in the next one.